Welcome to this videos, where knowledge meets inspiration and curiosity sparks transformation. I'm your host, Resoro Molifi, and each week we embark on a journey of exploration and enlightenment. Join us as we navigate the tapestry of experience, weaving together insights from academic visionaries and changemakers. Get ready to expand your horizon, challenge your perspectives, and embark on a quest for personal and collective growth. This is Visceres, where every episode is a gateway to a world of endless possibilities. Let's get back to the episode. Do you mind introducing yourself to our viewers?
I thought about that question. I'm like, what do I say about myself? But like in high school, I used to always believe in introducing myself first with my surname and then my name. So, but I don't know if that's allowed. But my name is Mokgauti Onalena, and I'm currently an honors student in the financial accountancy. Recently completed my BCom undergrad in financial accountancy. I am someone who's just passionate about the CA journey, and for a living, I enjoy planning for nothing serious, nothing whatever, but I think just planning whatever it is, whether planning my day or whatever, is just like what's keeping me sane. But that's just Ona. She's just purely someone who's focused on school now and nothing else. So there's literally nothing to my life currently other than school. So that's Ona for you at the moment.
Oh, that was a beautiful introduction, by the way. It was a beautiful introduction.
It's so empty.
So what can from someone who's watching this podcast right now, what value would they get from this talk?
Well, I think when you picked me, I'm like, perhaps it could have been from like the post that I made, but from what a viewer like at home would pick up from this is just like things don't always go according to plan, and when they don't, this is where you test yourself fully, you pick yourself up and you continue going. And I think that is just like the theme for our chat today. Like, things don't always go according to plan, and when they don't, you pick yourself up, you figure out what to do, and then get right back on track. Yeah.
Beautiful. So I want you to take us back to where it all started, where your love for accounting started, where you decided that, okay, this is what I'm taking accounting. Take us back.
Well, I know it'll be hard to believe for a lot of people, but my love for accounting honestly began when I did EMS. Right, and then EMS, I think it's divided into 3 parts. You have your business, your economics, and then you also have your accounting. So the minute that we got introduced to the accountancy part, I fell in love, and I never wanted to let go. It got so bad that in grade 8 I had this best friend of mine. His name is Onalena as well. Onalena and I would compete heavily when it came to just the accounting part, because surprisingly we both didn't like the business and the economics part. We were just fixated on the accountancy and would compete like we were not friends. Like, there was no love when you competed on that. So that was in grade 8, and that was like when now the love was just getting deeper. That in grade 9, I remember my final EMS paper. When I got my trial balance to balance, I knew that it was Chai. From high school going onwards, it was accountancy for me, and literally that's where it all began. EMS, and I never let go.
And they usually don't balance the trial balance.
It doesn't, but I can promise you that I got 100% for that paper, and I knew that, that was something that I was called for.
Wow. So you and your friend used to compete?
For accounting.
For accounting.
We used to compete a lot. David, we used to always compete to make sure that if you're balanced, and I don't know, the more we competed, the more he made me fall in love with it. I wonder where he is now. We haven't spoken in a while, because that was when I was in Joburg. So I changed schools a lot. I've been to 6 schools in my life. So yes, I've been to a total of 6 schools. And then I hope he's pursuing accounting as well, because, I know for a fact that he deepened, if that's a word, my love for accounting when we used to compete back in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what role did your teachers play? Your educators play in high school?
Regarding me loving accounting?
Yes.
Not much, not much. I think perhaps if I could say that they played a role, it was just helping me understand like why something has to be debited and why something has to be credited. But other than that, I unfortunately at this part, there's no teacher that I can say that they instilled this one. This one was just out of curiosity, out of interest. I was genuinely, like, all by myself interested in this thing, and I carried forward. So whatever that they were teaching, it was just adding on to the curiosity of this thing. And yeah, it is not because one teacher taught it so good that no. It really wasn't. So much so that in high school, I had accounting teachers, but in matric, I really had a bad fallout with my accounting teacher, but that did not stop me from loving it. So this one, it is on me. It is. I'm not giving it to any teacher. I love my teachers. I still talk to some of them, but no, I'm not giving it to any one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, how was the transition from high school accounting to university accounting? Was it close proximity, or was there a gap? Oh, this is university now, things are going down.
Okay, so I know people would say that I love being modest, but I'm not. I'm just like being realistic. So in high school, I would say that I was an average student, like an average learner. I was a good average learner, and then that I think I was aiming for a level 6 in matric. I got level 5 for my accounting, and then there I was 17 years old. Okay, well, I turned 18 right before I came to university, and then confident as I was, I remember stepping into the premise of the Northwest University, very hopeful, ready to kill this thing. And let me tell you that when I got here, because I started with the extended CA program.
Oh, yeah.
When I got here, the extended part, that extended year, everything was just a cruise, man. You were just cruising. And, things that I was struggling with, like in high school, it was just like so easy to get. I'm like, why didn't I get a distinction for accounting if I am like cruising like this in varsity? So honestly, I wouldn't say I struggled much. The transition for me wasn't a struggle, other than just like learning the environment. Because I missed my orientations. I didn't know that orientations were a thing. So moving around, I was 2 weeks late for accounting, and then, but other than that, I did not struggle. I think one thing that kept me going was my confidence. I mean, I can be a confident person, and sometimes that masks, fear or I don't know, not knowing. Yeah, it really covers up for those little imperfections. So when you're a little bit confident, it's not really easy to pick up to say, oh, she's lost. So when you're confident, you can subtly throw it in there and ask people how to move around. But honestly, 2018, that was my first year. I think it was just nice. I feel like Northwest University is such a pressure-free university. I got to learn the university at my pace. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the extended program. What is an extended program?
Okay, so with when you want to study your accountancy, there is the mainstream where obviously there are requirements that you meet, and then if you do not meet those requirements, there are lesser requirements to pursue either your financial accountancy or your chartered accountancy, and those lesser requirements would mean that you would then have to do your extended program.
Oh, okay.
So instead of a 3-year course, you are enrolled for a 4-year course.
Oh, so it's an extra year.
Yes.
Okay.
So you get an extra year to your degree.
Okay, but it's fair, because if it's an extra year, I'm sure, are the modules still the same as the ones in the mainstream? For example, if I qualify for, let me say I just finished matric, I qualify for level 7, I can qualify for financial accounting or CA. Than a person who didn't qualify and then do an extended program. Do we do the same modules, or is there a distinction somewhere?
No, we basically do the same thing. It's just that, like, in your extended year, I don't know if things have changed, but in your extended year you do accounting special, and then the only additions, you would do your accounting special, and then you also do your basic mathematics for business. Yes, that's the two very different modules or the distinction between the mainstream and the extended program. But then from there onwards, you basically get to do everything that they do in the mainstream. You even meet at some point. So in your first year, it can even be an advantage, because in my first year, I got to do the accounting special, the ACFS, and then I also did MTHS, that is the introduction to mathematics for business and economics, and then you then do some of the modules that you would do in your actual first year. So when you get to your actual first year, your load is a bit lesser. So because you would have done your economics, your business in your extended year, so you don't have as much modules as someone who's doing their three-year program. Yeah.
So if I'm a student, what qualifications do I need to get into financial accounting? Like, so that must be easily accepted.
Well,
what are the requirements that my subjects,
I know people would think that if you are at home and you're thinking to yourself that I need to be studying accounting as a subject at school to be accepted to this programs, well, you don't even have to be. You could literally be doing your pure sciences and then still get to do your accountancy. Basically, what is important to be accepted into those programs is your mathematics and your English. So, because I remember our requirements for the external program was mathematics at level 3, and then you had to have your English at level 5. So accounting is not even like a requirement to be able to do. If you did your accounting in high school, it's a bonus. But I remember my first year accounting lecturer used to say that sometimes it's even nice when you didn't do accounting at schools, because now you're a blank canvas. You are able to absorb and like fully understand accounting the way you should for university. Because when you are transiting from high school into university, there's like a lot of things that you did in high school that obviously you carry you proceed with them, but some of them you need to unlearn. A typical example would be there's something called, you say income received in advance. You would say deferred income in high school, and you just have to like unlearn little things, and then you understand why you can't call it deferred income. You have to call it like income received in advance. So that's just like a lot of things. So whether you did accounting in high school or you didn't, it's still the same thing. You'll be able to push. I have friends that have pushed. It gets a little hard, yes, for someone who didn't do accounting at all in high school, but with determination, with putting in the work, honestly, you will go through with it. So long as you have your mathematics, because believe it or not, we still do solve for x.
It's not leaving it. Still stays behind you.
You still solve for x. Recently, I was like with my group mates for research, and then we were arguing to say that, guys, can you believe that we still solve for x? And then some of them were like, no, we don't. I'm like, management accounting, we use solve for x. And then on Wednesday we did interim acquisition, so we're doing group statements, and guess what, for the entire lecture we're just like solving for x. I'm just like, see, you still do need your mathematics, like basic mathematics, just being able to put together an equation. When something doesn't make sense, it's easy to just default to mathematics, solve it, devise a formula quickly, and then you're able to get your answer and then continue. So mathematics really is really important, because when your other modules, not just with accounting, like I'm saying with your management accounting, there's quantities, conversions, you need to have done and understood your mathematics to just be able to do those simple things. Otherwise, that's where the lower marks are, and you're gonna miss out. So very important, your mathematics, you take it very, very seriously. And if you're doing accounting, get your basics right. When they are teaching you the double entry principle, you better listen.
You might as well become my accounting lecturer, because you know everything. I've heard you talk about. I was like, learn some stuff here.
No, not even. I loved accounting so much so that in high school I used to stay behind and teach an empty classroom. That I now people will start observing that, okay, she stays behind to fill up the chalkboard with just accounting. So I would have one person come sit through, two people, that by the time we got to matric, last push, I was the one there showing them, good, see guys, I can push you, I can guarantee
You're
you,
trending.
I'll give you 40% so long as you just attend my classes. That, you know, they used to have the first years here in university, they spread them across the province to like assist. So when they would come, they would have to like ask for the class from me to say, ma'am, can you take over now?
Wow.
I used to love teaching like that. Yeah. So I would be on the chalk, but the class full, and let me tell you, like a serious class, they're listening like, yes ma'am, let's go.
They
And
call you
yeah.
man. You're a man even.
It was that serious because
Wow.
I love teaching from a very, very young age. So when teaching meets accounting and there's love with equal prominence, it was just
It's a
me.
combination.
Yeah.
It's a good combination.
It's a perfect combination. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what if I just finished my financial accounting degree?
Mhm.
What are the potential job opportunities I can associate myself with?
Sure. So I will tell you now, I just completed my financial accountancy, and one thing that made me stay in school more than chasing the CA journey was that I'm just like not ready for like I'm not ready for the workplace, right? So but then there's different ways that you can do it. Obviously accounting is broad, right? Our degree is very broad. You could go into auditing, you could go into taxation, you can do all of these things, and then, or you can just basically do your articles where you'll be exposed to these how do I say this? Where you'll be exposed to your auditing, your tax in that firm, and then you can go back to school. When you've gone back to school, you've already achieved your articles, and then you can just complete your board exam and chase whatever designation. But basically, there are job opportunities for you to just practice what you would have like learned in class. I think it's not very often that I hear someone having studied accounting in varsity and then choosing a completely different path. But I think the most common job that people would go for after school would be going into auditing. Yeah.
So I heard you mention articles. What are articles actually?
Articles, so let's say when you are let's say you want to be qualified as a chartered accountancy, and also I stand to be corrected in some of my explanations, right? So you wanna be a CA at the end of the day, so you do your 3 or 4 year program, the traditional route in this instance. You do your 3 or 4 year program, your CA program, and then afterwards you would do what we call this, it's commonly known as CTA, which is the Certificate of Theory in Accounting, or PGDA, Postgraduate Diploma in Accountancy, and then from there you are required to do your 3-year articles. This is where you are basically working but meeting certain competencies that would have been approved by SAICA, and then from there you would write your board exams, and then if you pass, and then you get your designation as a CA. So after your CTA, you would write your first board exam, the ITC, initial test of competence, and then you do your 3-year article program, and then from there afterwards you do your last board exam, your APC, what's the assessment of professional competence, yes, and then if you pass these, this is not, it sounds like 1 2 3, but this is a journey that takes years. There's a journey that takes years, and in the end you get your qualification or your designation as a CASA.
Pays off.
Yeah, I will. When you are in LinkedIn like all the time, you see that it really pays off, but equally you realize that it is a lot of work. It takes a lot of tears, it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of sacrifices to be able to get there. It's not just everyone who gets there, but it's everyone who puts in the work that gets there. So hopefully one day I get to sit now and tell the viewers that now I can tell you as a CA that this is my journey, this is how I made it as a CA. But for now I'm an aspiring CA. I took the another route to becoming a CA. This is where you do your financial accountancy degree, and then from your financial accountancy, you do your bridging course into CTA. That's what I'm doing. The honors that we are doing as a bridging course to the CTA, and then from the bridging course, you do your CTA, first board exam, articles, last board exam, and you are done. Yeah.
So if I'm a high school student, and I just finished matric, are there accounting bursaries that I might pursue?
Oh yes. Well, there are many. There are literally many bursaries out there. It's just that.
And how do I get to them?
Well, there are usually links. On LinkedIn, you share, like, if you follow the right people, they often would share links. And then I think also when you Google, using your Google, I think, what is that platform? I think it's called Bursaries something.
Bursaries essay?
Yes, Bursaries
Oh,
essay.
Bursaries,
There
yes.
are like a lot of bursaries that you can apply for. Obviously your NSFAS as well is in there, and then but there are other bursaries for multi-choice, your Standard Bank, your AGSA, the accountancy firms as well. They do offer the bursaries, so you just have to know some of these things. If no one is coming to you to give you that information, you honestly have to go out there and look for that information, which is something that I'm also like realizing for myself now, that I didn't know like where to start. I didn't know how to figure some of these things out. So when I took my LinkedIn serious, and that's when I got to like understand even the journey now that I'm in this this designation that I am chasing. I'm learning how it works, and understanding really the concepts, understanding what it is that I've gotten myself into. So more than just expecting someone to go out there and give you the information, you have to also like equally like look for it for yourself. But there are bursaries, and for us this year, the school also does help. If you're an NWU student, they do also like just put up your bursaries out there on Ifundi. If you check your Ifundi regularly, and they do advertise some bursaries there. And then also there are faculty bursaries, there are honors bursaries, because a lot of my classmates, their registrations got paid for because then they met the requirements for their honors bursary, which is what they give you a certain amount. Was it 23,000 something, or was it 20K or something? But it was just about enough to cover for their registrations. And then from there, the School of Accountancy also helped us with providing us information to be able to apply for the facade bursary. So like I'm saying that more than expecting information to come to you, look for it. And then additionally, your school, so the School of Accountancy, really does provide support in giving us an opportunity to apply. Because I think what they tried, our program leader, well, she's amazing, Ms. Kanacha is absolutely amazing. She really went out of her way to make sure that we get sorted out. She tried for us to get the honors bursary. If you didn't qualify like myself, I think I was just a percentage short, so you needed to like have an average of 65. So I think I was sitting at either 63, 64, and so I didn't get the honors bursary. And it's just like, don't worry, she looked for the second one. She's like, the faculty bursary. And why didn't we get the faculty bursary? I think, a lot of us didn't. Oh, they were like, the faculty bursary, they were like, if you were able to cover for your registration, then that's what we were willing to help you with. But if you were able to set it out, then I think we're going to pass it over to someone who really needs to cover for their registration. So the School of Accountancy as well does play an important role in helping us secure funding, especially for your postgrad, where it is really, really difficult to secure funding. But there are multiple bursary options for you.
Even merit bursaries.
Yes, they are. So on campus as well, there are different bursaries. You just, to be able to know about them, you have to read up. So for instance, I had my sister here on campus, and it's only after she had completed her degree that we realized that we missed out on the family bursary. Like if you are is it you and your sibling are in the same institution at the same you guys are together in the institution, then you would qualify for the family bursary where a certain percentage of your tuition fees is taken off. So we
Really?
didn't know about that, so we missed out on that. And I mean, we were together in the institution for her entire degree, and I was there. So you have to look up. There are multiple bursaries. You have to read about it, and then some of it I think was also because you miss out on them because they close early. So if you wanna get if you want to be on time for these things, you look out for them earlier on. So starting September, August, September is the best time to start looking for bursaries. Honestly, right until December, that's when multiple closing dates. You would have met them, especially for the next academic year, for the Northwest University bursaries as well. So I'm saying August is the perfect time for you to start looking for at your bursaries, and then from there onwards, beyond December, you just keep track, because there are those bursaries that just like pop up out of nowhere. Your tutukas are in there, which is the famous one for like when you are in matric currently. You can just check, because I think they are open now. Tutuka bursaries open. Just check their requirements. So you just keep up to check those little ones that would pop up during the year. But the majority, I think, would start August. Yeah.
Okay, so regarding in accounting,
Mm-hmm.
you are not the only student that's on the same level as you are now, because earlier you said approximately 30 and potentially even more.
Mm.
So how does a student like you stand out? Like how a job pickers, or what do they want? How do you stand out? So I'm the best, you know. I'm better.
I'm not even sure how to answer that, but I do understand your question fully. I really do understand your question fully. And at the beginning of our classes, our auditing lecturer, Mr. Ria, told us that we have moved into an age whereby when you've gotten your accountancy degree, it's like, yay, there's just so few of you. We've gotten into a time where like everybody can get their accountancy degree. So to be able to be what's the word that I'm looking for?
Stand out.
Yes, you have to keep doing more. Honestly, if you see a lot of students on their LinkedIn, they do multiple things other than studying. Yes, they are tutors. They are student. What do you call student SIs?
Oh, SIs.
Yes, they are SIs. They
Peer
are markers.
mentors.
They are peer mentors. So they do all these other things. They even do, accountancy firms have VEC programs, vacation programs, where you work for a certain period of time. So they do like all those things to be able to just prove and make themselves employable. I think, yeah, that's for lack of a better word, I'm just gonna say like employable. So you learn to manage your time in a way that you include everything, more than just being an accounting student or a student really for any other degree, like fixing yourself to just your degree. You do other things as well. You do online courses for Excel, Microsoft, all of that. So you just put yourself whereby you stand up getting these small courses, doing all these extra things. I think this is how you literally just stand out. Volunteering as well, I see comes up a lot on LinkedIn, to say you volunteer for certain things, you just without expecting any remuneration, but you just learn and gain the experience. So you just don't come out as a fresher with just your degree. So you come out with your degree and other little qualifications or achievements or job experiences as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So regarding those activities that you're talking about, what internships, part-time jobs, societies and activities that you participated in that actually helped you that you gain experience, and in terms of growth, how?
For myself, disappointing. It's very disappointing to say that I did not participate in anything. I have not participated. I have friends. I have advisors, and that would usually tell me that I've got so much potential. Just to just like limit myself to just being a student. They tell me all the time that you possess so much potential, like do try other things, leadership roles, take up a leadership role, try being a member of your risk committee, or a substructure, or take up these little roles. But I've just like maintained that also fear and just like being modest, and these little things, they just amount to holding yourself back. But then from there, the only other thing that I have done is at home, when they run a guest house, right? So I during from the start of my first year, year-end recess, I would go there and work there, and then I did that every year until I got, they promoted me to be the assistant manager, so I got to be a part-time assistant manager. So that is literally the only thing other than school that I've did. I'm like learned to run a guest house, play multiple roles in doing that. So that's literally the only other thing that I've learned. But it was so much fun. I think I learned a lot. So much. It was so fun that I even got to deal with AGSA guests. When you deal with AGSA guests, you get to have little chit-chats, and they find out that you're an accountancy student, and they tell you, no, keep going. It is I think that's the only other thing that I did. Do I wish I did more? Definitely. But if I had an opportunity to do it now, unfortunately, honestly, it's so demanding, and I genuinely just found school to be so demanding that I thought that I wouldn't be able to juggle to keep strike a balance between every other thing. So I guess I deprived myself of those opportunities as well, because I did have friends in the ACC. I did have friends who partake. I have friends who are more, because they do these little things, tutoring. Recently, one of my friends was telling me that they're looking for an accounting tutor. I'm like, gosh, I love accounting. ACC, I'm like, I loved accounting first year, but I'm like, okay, I don't have the time to do it. So you see how I like deprived myself of those opportunities. But do I recommend it to others? No, I do not recommend it. It's getting competitive. So to be able to stand out, do add on to your achievements by doing little things on campus or outside campus as well.
What advice would you give to high school students and current first year students regarding the activities, internships, the societies, university?
I guess my advice would be limited to just the academic part, because really, like I said, I didn't participate in a lot of things. And even right now, my friends like encourage me and send me applications to say, get into the VEC program. That would be the vacations programs for like a different accounting firms. And I'm just like, research? I intend to study and push research, so I am not signing up for any of that. But with academics, there's something that I wrote, if you'll allow me to just use my phone.
Please,
In this instance, it's not a lot of things that I wrote, but I think I noted it is something very, 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 very important when you are like navigating. So it says here, like, understand the type of student that you are, like what works for you when you study. And this is very important, because when you meet other people, whether your classmates or other people, your study mates, people that you would meet in the saying, that it's very, very important for you to understand the type of student that you are. You're going to meet a lot of personalities, a lot of different people. Even people that you study with, they are going to be different. Their study methods are going to be different from how you study. So what will work for you is understanding the type of student that you are, understanding that I'm a type of student that is able to study on my own, that in class I'm just going there to add on, or you are the type of student like myself who needs to hear it from the lecturer's mouth to be able to understand. So I consider myself like I'm that special student. If I don't hear the lecturer say it, it's going to take me ages to understand it. So it is very, very important in making your studying efficient. If you know that I need a lot more hours to cover a topic, just a basic topic, you devise your study plan in a way that it caters for you to be able to put in those extra hours to be able to. You don't get pressured to say to say that there's someone that comes in and they study 1 hour, they're done, they've covered everything, and they get a distinction in their test, and you're just like, how do I do that? No. You sit with yourself, you assess yourself. This is what works for me. This is how I'm able to understand, and you follow that. And then, which basically links to what I'm gonna say next, to say that there'll be advices everywhere. Only take what you need. So when I started honors this year, the lecturers, former students, people that have done it, people that weren't able to complete the honors programs, there was just a lot of noise in how difficult this thing is. It is difficult, and yes, but in them emphasizing the difficulty, it made me question whether or not I was good enough, whether or not I had like what it takes to complete this degree. So I just realized that there's so much noise that I need to block out a lot and only focus what will get me through it, not something that's going to tell me that I might not get through it. I only need to take on what's going to help me get through it. So there'll be a lot of advices. Even myself right now, I'm giving advice, but from whatever that I'm saying, from a lot of things that I'm saying, only take what you need. And it's honestly important. Filtering advices is very, very important, and not everything that everyone says is going to work out for you. So you take what you need and you discard the rest. That is very, very, very important. And then also the typical but very very important things to do is you stay disciplined, consistency. And one thing that I learned last year, you cry moving forward. Accountancy and failing goes like this. You know, you'll be a distinction student from high school, and you get here and you get 50s in your test. You cry about it, that you are aiming for a distinction and it's not working out. Yes, you go review, consult with your lecturers, do everything that you need to do, but you do not stay stagnant and cry. You cry moving forward. You cry that you didn't hit your target for a test, but you pick yourself up. You continue studying. You do not stop. For whatever reason, you cry moving forward. It is very, very, very important that anyone, first year, second year, at whatever level of your education you are, you learn to cry moving forward. You don't stop and cry over things that you cannot change. You can change them by rectifying the mistakes for your next test. If you get what you mean. You are in ambulance. You cry moving forward. So yeah, I think that is what is important, and I think that is my advice to anyone that's pursuing this. Understand that it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of sacrifices, but more than anything, you need to be studying. You honestly and genuinely need to be studying. A lot of top students, they often would say that you do not go to sleep without having covered at least one thing in every module, right? Your core modules, that would be your accounting, your auditing, management accounting, financial management. So you sleep having to have at least looked into something in any of those modules. So more than anything, what will get you through it is you have to do the work. There is no studying the night before that's going to help you. Yes, it might be, you might be able to pull it off in first year. Second year, not so much. You just like learn. You need to like manage your time, get into the habit of studying. Even if you're not gonna be an 8-hour studying student, you're gonna be a 3-hour per day studying student, but make sure that your whatever the hours that you put in, they are effective, number one, and you get into the habit of doing it even when you don't feel like it, even when you are in pain. If you're a girl and it's that time of the month, know which meds work for you, so that you know that if I take this, I'll be able to sit it out. Like literally at anything, just excuse yourself from the world for a little bit. You learn to study, and then you work your schedule in a way that, okay, now let me just, rest the academics and get to socialize and do other things. Plan that effectively, but make sure that out of 7 days, the majority of the week would have gone to school. And yeah, don't in accounting they say you keep up and not catch up. Let me tell you, junior exams are coming. I have fallen behind. I'm trying to catch up, and it's not working, because the more you try to catch up, there's new work every single week. So yeah, if you have first year, this is even perfect for you. In accounting, you keep up and you don't catch up. So yeah, that is like it from me. And like I said, that accounting and failing, they can be really best of friends. But what happens is that when you fail, you honestly pick yourself up. And then there's one also like toxic thing about failing that I've realized, because it has taken me quite a bit of time to complete my degree, is that failing can be toxic, that you get numb. You don't feel the pain anymore. Like you fail so much so that you don't feel the pain anymore. You get used to it. When you are in that zone, admit to yourself, no man, that you need help and you need to fight it. You need to fight with everything. You need to fight like you've never fought before to be able to regain sensory. You need to feel the pain to keep going. Never get to a point whereby failing doesn't hurt you. It has to hurt you so that you are able to keep going. If you don't feel the pain, work to regain those sensory. It has to hit you. It has to have you feeling a certain type. It has to evoke in you emotions that's like, I'm sad. If you want to cry about it, you cry about it. But because honestly, it is important. And understand that everyone's going to have the paces at which we go at it are going to be different. Like if you don't finish at record time, it's not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world. First, 1 extra year, 2 extra years, you don't stop until you get it. If you are going to choose to change, good for you. But if your heart is still telling you that you can do it, that you can leave this university with it, for the mere fact that there's that voice, it means that you are more than capable of doing it. So you owe that much to yourself. You owe that much to something that told you that enroll for accounting, and you push and you get that degree for that voice that made you sign up for all of this to begin with. Yeah.
So could you please tell us more about the time when you wanted to give up but you just carried on anyway? You said you just kept on going. You never thought about anything else. You wanted to give up studying, you wanted to give up your degree, but you just kept on going anyway.
So I think that one it's really, really sad. It's a really, really sad time on my degree, and allow me to just to feel a little sad while I take you through it. But like I said, I completed my degree 2 years later than I should have. So, well, I've been talking for a lot, so everyone will just get to do the math, to calculate how long it took for me to complete my degree. But I'll tell you that in 2020, when COVID began, yeah, I think that's when my world turned upside down. And it's for a lot of people, but it turned upside down for me because, like I'm saying, I'm a student that I need to see my lecturer here and hear them there while looking at them. So that was taken away from me, and my whole world changed. And I learned for the first time what it was like to fail an accounting test. And I started failing, and it never improved. It kept getting worse and worse. I tried fighting that. In 2022, I was still a student, but I had checked out. Mentally, I had checked. It was just my heart that was keeping me here, but I had checked out. I really honestly had checked out, so much so that towards the end of the year, there were 2 modules that I was struggling with, and that was financial management and management accounting, and I had just left them. I remember studying for management accounting for almost a week, to the very morning of writing that test. And then after studying like that, I decided that I was not going to write, and I decided that I didn't want to do that module anymore for that year. I cried that I don't answer phone. I give back. That was me in 2022. But God, they say that religion is the biggest part of what will keep you in university. And believe me, God works in mysterious ways, and He helped me in one way. In 2021, towards the end of the year, we were still majority of the learning was still online. I got texts from 2 ladies, right? I got tests. They were asking me to assist them in preparing for our accounting final exam. And then these ladies, they're like, we had that you are that girl when it comes to accounting. And I dropped a tear because I'm like, I was that girl. That girl disappeared somehow in COVID. I lost my love for accounting, specifically accounting, and I lost that girl. I lost that girl that knew every trick there was in accounting. She disappeared with COVID, and I cried. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm unable to assist you, ladies, in the with your request. But what I did was befriend them. So I befriended these two ladies, and then in 2020, as I was getting to know them, because I would now see their faces for the first time, because now we were getting back, slowly releasing our learning from the hybrid, getting back to face to face. And then as we started seeing, I would see like how they are striving, to perform academically, despite the fact that we had now changed from the CA program, we had changed now to the FA program. And I think that seeing them work like that awakened, the dream, I awakened the feeling that I had when I first started this degree, and that in 2022, when I saw that, they pushed, they worked, they studied, and they passed, and I didn't. In 2022 December, I was so hurt. Literally, all I did was sleep, eat, spend 1 hour every day with the family just to say hi, do my house chores, and not go back and sleep. But in my sleeping, I was interrogating myself. I would speak to myself to figure out that how am I planning my comeback, acknowledging and accepting that I should have studied hard, I should have put in the work, and I didn't. I should have finished, and I still haven't completed my degree. It's now 2023, and I'm still striving for an undergrad. So I did that for the whole January, December. I was just beating myself up, and I allowed myself to get those beatings from me, not anybody else. I was not talking to people during this process. That was from me to me, beating myself up and realizing, accepting the mistakes. And now, after having opened the wounds, and now see that how I'm going to soothe, how to heal, plan the healing, and then the recovery, the redemption. And I'm sure that's the post that you would have seen on LinkedIn there. In 2023, one thing that I did, I studied and I redeemed myself. I studied like the world was coming to end, and I made sure that I'm going to complete my degree. And I did that by two main things: consistency. I studied even when I didn't feel like it. I went to the library every single day, even when it would be cold. I hate the air conditioning. Sometimes it gets so cold in the library. Not even. Simultaneous to the studying,
yes.
I got myself to a weight loss journey. So I was losing weight, something that requires intense discipline, and then studying as well. So the two areas that requires discipline, I fused the two worlds, and what came out was just pure discipline. I'm going to redeem myself, and in the end, I got my degree. I conquered my weight loss journey, and I'm here today also talking to someone who's listening to this, but talking to myself, because I'm having it hard this year, and I'm reminding myself to say that to be able to have gotten through last year, I did 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I just need to apply the same principles. But it's hard. But you fail. I stopped feeling the pain. December 2022, I had to get my sensory back. I had to feel the pain, allow myself to feel the pain, so that if I felt the pain of failing, I knew that I would want to do something about it. And that's just what anyone should do. If you are failing, allow yourself to feel the pain. When you feel the pain, you want to do something about it, and actually do something about it, and then you keep forward. But over and above anything, I owe my degree is dedicated, most important, to myself for having put in the work, but to my supportive system. I've got an amazing family who supports. I gained friends, who supported me in this, and obviously I managed to get a partner, university, who honestly I wouldn't have done any of this with. So yeah, I had, you know, support in all of this. So it's important to accept, you know, to learn to appreciate your support system, identify where your support is coming from, and hold on to that support, even though you are not able to be there, because honestly you will miss out on everything. You will stay with them in the house if you are staying at home, but you don't even feel like you're a part of anything because it's just high and by, you're going to study. But hold on to the support that you get, carry it with you. Whatever that's working with you for you in this university, carry it with you, and it's the only way that you're going to be able to complete your degree. Yeah.
And what role did your partner, your friends, and your family play in this process, in this long process?
I will start with my family. For last year, I was honestly unavailable. They, you know, when I said, and then I bought sparkling wine to say let's just pop bottles, because I met all the I satisfied all the requirements for the honors programs. Like, I did it. It was with tears in their eyes, and tears that is because you were so unavailable. My sister would wait for me to come back home at midnight to just tell me something from her day. But when I come back, I'm so exhausted, and it's like, hi, and I sleep again. On weekends, I would last see them on Friday and see them again on Monday, but we were staying in the same house. So the understanding was I think offering me the understanding is the biggest part of what helps me going, in the sense that when they want to see me and talk to me and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't have the time, it's important for them to just say that we understand. It's not that I don't love you guys, just understand. By you saying that you understand that I cannot be there, but you encourage me, you keep going. When I was trying to lose weight, mom waking up to prepare me those veggies, that is the support. And then obviously my friends who just keep saying that, girl, we have to study, we have to keep going, let's go collect your scripts. Even if you don't want to see that bad percentage, let's just go to the offices, collect the scripts. And then obviously my life partner, he's just amazing. He gets to hear screams that no one else gets to hear. He gets to see tears that no one else sees. He gets to hear me cry myself to sleep, you know, more than anybody else, I think, because he's literally the first person that I talk to. So he has experienced, he's literally honestly been an accounting student because of how much he had to go through all these emotions with him. It's for him, I think it's almost like a 4D movie. You feel everything, you know, when it's like raining there, you feel it's the same with him. It's literally the same with him. And I'm incredibly grateful for everybody, but also I'm incredible. God carries me through it all, and he's placed all these people in my life so that they're able to support me. So I'm grateful to God, I'm grateful to my family, my life partner, and my friends, and everybody else, my lecturers that keep cheering me on. I absolutely adore my first year accounting lecturer, Ms. Prugom Sehozo. No matter how long it took, no matter how much she would see that the results are bad, but she never stopped believing. She always just says that I believe in you. I know that you're going to complete you. I've seen your potential. I lectured you in your second year, and I'm rooting for you. And I'm honestly grateful to all of the lecturers. Lecturers are also can offer like a great support system. There's Mr. Mashava, my tax lecturer, with whom I would go to his office and I would literally dump my tears on his desk because I'm panicking. I'm just 2 hours from writing my exams. I do not know what to do with myself. So he allowed me to just come into his office, not say a word to him, just cry, and after that I'm okay, and then we talk about it and I go and I write. So I'm incredibly grateful to every single person, honestly, even if it's just someone who I met for 2 minutes. And then I remember also last year, and sorry that I'm keeping it long, I met a girl. I was going to write my accounting second semester test, and I was panicking so bad because I'm just like, I don't trust that it's gonna go well. And I went outside the library and I was crying. I met some random girl and I told her that I needed a hug, and she gave me that hug, and and I cried, and she was just like, you got this, all the best. So I'm incredible to everybody who's done that for me. I met a team of people who held me accountable in the library. People would just say, where are you? It's time for us to study. There's tutor, there's Caesar. I mean, I'm grateful to any one of those people who offered a helping hand throughout the long years of getting my degree. Yes.
So, how did you build relationships with professors, mentors? Like, how does a student stand out to build an efficient relationship with a lecturer in terms of where to sit in class, how to ask questions, how to oppose the lecturer even? Because in retrospect, most students are afraid to approach lecturers because there's fear in them that they're afraid the lecturer might say something bad to them, or just general fear, shyness and stuff like that. How does a student gain confidence to approach a lecturer, or lecturer, please help me with this and that, and stuff like that? How do you build the relationships with the lecturers and the mentors?
Well, for me, it's honestly, it wasn't hard because I was like that from high school. I don't know how I did it, but literally from grade 1, I was that one learner. I hate that they call us teachers' pets, but I was that learner who was always just close with their teachers. I do not know. I think this one is natural. It's not something that I would tell myself that I would build relationships with them by doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was just natural. I have a certain level of natural confidence that one can be taken away from me, and that is literally how I managed to stand out, in class full of I think I remember in economics we were over 100 students, but I got to talk and know my lecturer, my professor, like that, because I stood out from that lecture hall that was full by basically my confidence. Honestly, I would just say that my confidence is the one thing that has helped me to be able. Miss Kluklo is so strict in class, but I would just be there sitting like, I love how she lectures. She's strict, but I'm gonna push. I want to get to know her. I want to be able to have a relationship with her. So no matter how much you made it difficult, I just pushed through. I just became that student that if the lecturer wants to be able to communicate to students, but via one person, I self-appointed myself. Like even in class currently, I am. We recently wanted to ask a lecturer for a favor, to push us, to push our classes this week so that she allows us time for graduation next week. And then when we were talking about it, now who's gonna test? I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I will text the lecturer. And then she asked us, you guys didn't attend the tutorial. I will answer that randomly. I will take accountability for why we didn't pitch up to class. So I don't know, some of these things is because I was just self-appointed myself, and that's how I got to build some of the relationships with my lecturers. So just my confidence and being, I don't know, man, not being able to not being scared to ask. If I need to ask my lecturer something, I'm not gonna be scared. I'm gonna go, ma'am, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's just how I've managed to build some of the relationships. If not all of, I do not have a relationship with all of them, but those that I do on a purely professional basis, it's mainly because of my confidence and not being scared to talk to them, self-appointing myself for class-related issues.
So, what is the importance of networking and finding mentors? What benefit will it give you in your development and in your self-improvement?
What's the saying? I guess I think when what do they say? I forgot the saying, but there's so much value from learning from those that have walked, the path before, and they've seen a lot more, so you also like sort of save yourself from having to experience everything when you could be there getting guidance from someone who's walked that road before. I think that is just the perfect way to sum it up, having to sit and just like learn. You can avoid so much. You can literally shorten the time that it would take you to figure out something by sitting and learning, and allow yourself to learn from those that have walked the road. I think that is just the simplest way of putting it. And then also networking, you are putting yourself in a place whereby you can, this particular person for this. So if I'm stuck with bursaries, then you are at a point or in a place where you are able to go to that specific person and ask for assistance. So it's almost like you yes, I think that's the perfect way to explain it. You like learn to have people for different reasons to be able to go to this particular person, ask for assistance. I wanna apply for my articles, but I'm not sure which firm to go with. So you know that, oh, okay, I was speaking to this lecturer, or I have my mentor. They'll be able to help to sit with me and narrow down, the sort of firm that I want to go with, the sort of firms that holds values that are compatible with how I am, with how I operate. So it really, really saves you a lot of time, because if you are someone, you're trying to do it all by yourself, it will probably take you a lot more time to figure it out than sitting with someone who's just experienced, who's got the bruises for it, and you just can avoid getting a lot more bruises by sitting with someone who would have indirectly endured them for you. So you usually hear people say that this particular person walked so I could run. Yes.
If he did it, why can't I? If she did it, why can't I do it? So
Exactly. Yes.
So what are your career aspirations, and how do you plan on achieving them? How do you plan to achieve them?
Like I said, I'm really invested. I'm honestly, I can't deny it anymore. To just see that I'm here doing my honors, and then I want to meet the requirements to do CTA. I'm invested at this point, 100% invested in becoming a chartered accountant one day. But I also have another plan to say that if it doesn't work out, even I fell in love with management accounting so much so that I had applied for the honors program as well, and it was a matter of choice between the two. But I really see myself falling into one of these two fields. Chartered accountancy, chartered accountant, a management accountant. I think that is really where my love is. Maybe a little more to the management accounting side, but I love my course. I don't see myself doing any other thing. So I'm excited to finish up school, get started on my articles, and just see now where because there are different fields of areas of specialization, see what speaks to me. Is it really the management accounting that I've fallen for? Is it taxation? Is it the auditing? Is it the financial management? So I'm waiting patiently for the time when I get to experience and see that this field is for me. Obviously not settling, but just get to invest myself, for a certain period that I would have put myself to say that I'm going all in, learn, but then also be able to be versatile and try other things as well. But for now, it's something that I've been studying for so long that I really want to see it in the practical world as well. I want to now, the theory part is exciting. Yes, it does get exciting, but now let me see how it works in practice. So I'm excited for them. I don't see myself doing any other thing other than what I'm doing. It's not even the money. It's just interesting. I think for me it stems from the interest. Yes, it's so interesting. The management accounting, the thinking that you have to do, you have to be really analytical to be able to get it. I think that is interesting. That is exciting. That's what keeps me going. Is it about the money for me? No, it's really about the interest. When I do these things, they are really interesting. I find them really, really interesting. Yeah.
Ona, 5 years ago, did you predict that you would be in the situation or the sport where you are right now?
No, definitely not. 5 years ago, no. How 5 years ago would be 2019?
2018. 2019.
Would it be 2019? In 2019, things were going well academically.
Oh, yeah.
Things were good in 2019. Things were going well academically. Una saw herself finishing her degree in record time. Una was Una, but I believe, I think that things turn out, the way they should have, because I look back at the 19-year-old and I'm thinking to her, but she was so clueless. Had I finished my degree in record time, what would have been next for me? I was not interested in finding out any of that. It was just, oh, I'm gonna graduate at 22, and but I was, honestly, I had no idea. I was clueless. So I think things worked out the way they should have. I did not see myself being in this position. I did not see myself changing from the CA program to the FA program. That was not, honestly, that was not in my plans. But I'm here today, and I'm embracing this journey. I'm taking it, as if it was the initial plan. Yeah.
So how did you actually balance personal life, relationships, friendship time with academics? How did it balance, or did one outskill the other, or?
I don't think I struggle with much, because I'm loud. I'm an out there person, but I'm also not an out there person. I don't know if that makes sense, in the sense that I'm not easily taken by the vibe or the pressure to do all these things. So more often than not, really, I do take time for myself, and I think that's just what keeps it going, even from family, even from my whether romantic or platonic friendships, whatever relationship that they are, I do take time for myself, and I do take time to focus on what I really should be doing. Friends, I've never struggled with having friends that need my time so much from books. Yes. I think maybe some of the friendships that I had made, they turned out to just be purely academic friendships, and then they ended soon after. We were not in the same class or in the same level anymore. But what they would ultimately push for is, we have to submit. Did you submit? There's a quiz. Did you do your quiz? And the family, it's like, what available these days? Don't you have schoolwork to do? So I think my life and the choices and the kind of person that I am has saved me from a lot of things, and just have helped me keep a balance between everything. But if I look at it, did I get consumed? I think there was a point in my life where I was obsessed with impressing my parents. Everything that I did was to impress them. But when I learned to step down from that, I released a lot of pressure on myself, and that availed more time for myself and what I should focus on. And I think that's how everything has stayed in balance. I think friendships I'm terrible, but I'm learning how to pour into my friends' cups, and I'm learning how to build genuine friendships, be intentional about friendships and stuff while still studying. I think I really am trying to be a good friend this year. Those friendships that didn't work out, they didn't work out. But for the ones that are still here, I'm genuinely trying to be a good friend. I've never always been like in a position or knowing how to be a good friend, but I'm learning how to be all that.
So what advice would you give to current first-year students and high school students in the process of preparing for university, both mentally and socially? What's the type of mindset that they're supposed to have? What do they need to do? What are the toxic behaviors that they need to leave?
Okay. I think with that one, I would say that release yourself from the pressure of missing out. You honestly, just you'll find out that you're not missing out if you can be able to release yourself from the pressure of feeling like you're missing out. You would have been doing yourself a really huge favor. So if you are in matric preparing for university, plan it for the right reasons. Don't now be planning to say that, oh, they've been so uptight at home, this is my chance to really dance on top of the tables. When you sit and plan for the right reasons. Yes, I'm not saying that do not have a life when you get here, but make sure that when you are here, majority of the week, goes to your schoolwork. Honestly, you can do anything else. Take 2 days dedicated to just you and not school related, but make sure that the majority of the week goes to school. Prepare yourself, teach yourself that from earlier on. Teach yourself how to focus. You know, a lot of people struggle with concentration. Get into the habit of concentrating, man. Even if you don't take any artificial energy providers, just get yourself, because it is doable. Train yourself to learn how to concentrate, to increase your concentration span. Read on it, see how you can do, what you can do to increase it. But other than that, release yourself from the pressure of feeling like you're missing out. If everybody's going with the wave of we should be, I don't know, our young people these days, there's so much pressure of drinking, okay? All I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying release yourself from the pressure of feeling like you're missing out.
So, what advice would you give to a student who wants to be a top performer in university? How does one become a top performer, like one of the best to perform in their field, the specific qualifications? How does one be the best?
Well, I wish I was a top performer myself, but one thing that I'm learning from these top performers is, man, they've mastered the art of studying. They have mastered what works for them in terms of studying, and they really do sacrifice. These people, they put in the work, and they're very disciplined. They're very strict. They adhere to their study plans, to their routines. And then one thing that also you get to learn as you go on is exam technique. You will find out that these top performers have mastered the art of exam technique, right? Releasing yourself from getting stuck. If one question is not going, and then you sit there for 1 hour wasting a lot more time to when you could be doing other questions, they learn. If you are hearing the term exam technique for the first time, read on it, ask your lecturers about it. It's really important. If you wanna ace your exam, learn, excel at your exam technique. If a question is allocated 2 minutes per mark, try as much as you can to make it 2 minutes per mark. Have your watch in there to time yourself. If your question is 25 marks and it requires you to be doing it for what? 50 minutes, and make sure that you keep checking your time. 50 minutes, you should be done. When you practice your questions, you practice yourself without timing yourself, and then you get to a time whereby you practice yourself to be studying under strict exam conditions, and then you master the art of exam technique. Exam technique, especially for accounting or students who do numbers, it is very, 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 very important. Yeah.
So it's trial and error. You practice.
Yes, you practice. You see what works, and then you don't get stuck on yourself. You go out there, consult your lecturers on it. You see what's the best way to do it. But ace your studying. Be as efficient as you can in your studying, and then you kill it off or seal the deal with good exam technique. Yeah.
Una, it's been a pleasure having you here. This will help many students prepare, study and everything, fix their mindset and all of that.
Yeah.
And by the way, we have a closing tradition in this podcast.
Okay.
nothing hectic.
Okay.
Whereby the guest leaves a quote. Leaves just any quote you want, any inspiration, life, any quote that you want.
Okay, well, this is such an on-the-spot moment.
It can be yours, it can be anybody.
Okay, well, there's not a specific quote that I live on, but I think what moving forward with me is, it gets difficult, but cry moving forward.
Cry moving forward.
Cry moving forward. You cry moving forward. I think that is literally it for me. Cry moving forward. You don't cry standing at the same place. You cry moving forward.
I'm definitely going to watch this podcast again by myself. A few times I jot down notes on what I can improve on myself, because I've learned a lot. I'm very thankful that you're here. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for sharing your wisdom to me and to our viewers at home. I thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.